Hello, and welcome to another new article from retirementsolvedblog.com. Long-term care insurance as a birthday gift for your parents. Robert Klein at MarketWatch just penned a piece on long-term care insurance and how buying it for your parents on their birthday could be a great gift. Here are the main takeaways. Most people are oblivious to long-term care insurance needs. Over 90% of adults haven't even talked about critical extended care issues with their closest relatives, examples being a spouse, adult children, or aging parents. Klein notes that there is a widespread consensus that Americans over the age of 65 have a 70% chance of needing extended care during their lifetimes. If you or your parents end up needing long-term care and you don't have adequate coverage, it can severely or completely drain the financial resources you or your parents have spent an entire life building into a nest egg. Klein offers the idea of annually giving your parents the funds needed to pay for long-term care insurance. Obtaining long-term care insurance provides you with the peace of mind that you have a plan to maintain stability, financially and emotionally, if you or your parents become one of the 70% of Americans above the age of 65 that develop a need for extended care. Klein makes a great point that it is important to have a plan in place for how to address the long-term care needs of those closest to you, for example, your aging parents. Long-term care insurance is one way to address this need, but there are alternatives, including obtaining a reverse mortgage or selling your primary residence, relying on Medicaid, or self-insuring if you're very wealthy. However, none of these solutions mentioned are perfect. Reverse mortgages often have high fees. They're not right for everyone. Before your parents could rely on Medicaid, they would likely need to exhaust virtually all of their financial resources, so this option may leave you without an inheritance. Self-insuring is likely reserved for the very wealthy, but even then, long-term care insurance could protect an estate from being severely drained if long-term care needs arise. The long-term care insurance costs can be far less than the amount you would ultimately shell out if you or your parents require expensive long-term care. That being said, it is critically important to address this need now to avoid being blindsided with both severe and financial emotional issues at the same time, in case you or your parents become one of the 70% of Americans above the age of 65 that develop a need for extended care. The best time to get the best long-term care insurance coverage is before you need it. Nobody plans to get Alzheimer's or dementia, but if you plan ahead appropriately with long-term care insurance, you can avoid some pretty big financial landmines. You'll be glad you did.